Okay. This is a pick a card reading. I want to fix this. Angelic Messages, what you need to know right now from higher guidance. So pile 1, pile 2, pile 3. All right, pile 1. I'm gonna go from the top. Okay, so pile 1, there is a some sort of inner conflict as far as the course of action you need to take. So there is a need to really tap into the heart space to clarify any confusion and issues. There is a need to make sure that you allow any trauma or wounding to flow through you, to merge duality here, to love all aspects of self, to learn to see the higher picture within the collective as well, collective energies, as well as with other people, to choose to see things from the highest perspective. Now, with this card, that doesn't mean that you avoid any lower vibrational thoughts or beliefs or negative experiences, because the way you transmute them is by accepting them and processing them. If you just ignore them and place them to the side, nothing's going to happen. And so through these two cards, your guides are saying that through the process of transmutation, loving things into transmutation, you will see a pretty large shift here. Things will begin to grow and expand from that place. And then we have the Sun, 417, and Sacrament of Extreme Unction. And I have to read these out of the book. The Sun at 417 hertz could be important for you. This is the solar plexus. This is taking action. This is enlightenment. 417 is solfeggio frequency for the solar plexus. And it's also the mental body. So there could be some overthinking here, or not clearing the mental field here. So needing to clear the mental field and aligning the head and the heart so that you can come into this fruitfulness, and allowing the thoughts to kind of be calmed a bit. So let me read these two here. 16. You have what it takes. You are a light bearer. Within you is a healing power and spiritual wisdom you can tap into to find your way through any confusion or doubt. Have confidence in yourself and know you are enough. Expect an affirming yes from the universe. So if you asked a yes/no question, it is yes. And these three together includes whatever your heart is telling you right now, follow through with that. It will be fruitful too. So follow through with that heart wisdom. 34. Your heart knows how to let go so you can find peace. It is time for you to experience spiritual closure. A beautiful new reality is opening up for you. Entering it requires you to release your attachment to the past. You have been inwardly preparing for a powerful rebirth. Now is the time to trust in what is meant for you and move towards it with an open, trusting heart and peaceful mind. Okay, so this action that's coming from the heart space is being encouraged through the solar plexus and through this card as well. But there is a need to let go of any duality or past influences, past experiences, so that you can fully step into this new reality, okay? Okay, so with these guys here, there is some inner conflicts that we touched on here about whether you push forward despite obstacles or just allow things to take a natural course. And what they're saying is you need to actually do both. But if you get into the details of either of these too much, you can get sucked into enforcing your will above and beyond any challenges, or not taking advantage of the divine flow of energies. So you want to have a balanced perspective, head and heart, solar plexus, heart, as well as merging duality was brought up there. But you need to take a higher perspective so you can see the big picture, okay? So try not to be too overly focused on your own will. Allow divine will to come in and help you. I think that, okay, there we go. There's definitely a huge shift coming. This was brought up here. So a huge shift coming, and this is a card of a storm brewing. And there's a need to take time to rest, reflect, pay attention to your body, because this change is going to come. It's going to come in pretty quick. So take time now to rest and allow things to take a natural course right now. You don't need to worry. This change is coming. You are being encouraged, though, to take action. So it's not all about the rest, but it's to pay attention to your body. Don't force yourself too hard, because this is happening, whatever you're asking about. And it has to do with your uniqueness, your authenticity, and your gifts in the world. And there is an upgrade in the higher mind, the pineal gland, and activation happening here that is going to bring you into a higher space of experience and frequency ranges. I feel like you are getting messages as well from your guides. Communication, there's a rebirth happening. So you are being asked to pay attention to internal guidance systems, because there's this upgrade happening through the heart, through the pineal, and activating, I would say, fifth dimensional blueprints within your energy, helping you to tap into and activate these new gifts. There is a complete transformation happening in the collective field as well. And through your awakening and your activations, you're actually going to go through some initiation in the earth plane. So you may need to prepare yourself for some shifts and changes on the ground, so that you can transform your actual physical experience. And this already came through once. There's a need to be more like water, to take action, but it's like a surrendered action. It's very hard to put into words, but it's an action while allowing divine to kind of come in and sculpt your path, if that makes sense. Okay, so it's not, the higher dimensional energies are not like we're used to. You don't go, I'm going to do this, and this at this time on this day. It's a different flow, and it's more spiral and less linear. So there is a learning and initiation into this way of being, okay? So I hope that was helpful. I'm not getting details on what this shift or change is or what it's regarding. So because these are higher messages, my guess is you need to take this information and apply it directly to whatever you're working on now. But understand it's an umbrella of information, and it's not going to get into the details. It's more of, this is how you align yourself with divine truth and your highest self. Okay? So I hope that was helpful. Okay, and this is pile 2. Making sure this is still recording. Okay, I think it is. Okay, definitely spirit guides coming through here. Grounding. Okay, 174 solfeggio frequency of the root chakra. Let me read this. You've been moving so fast for so long that you're not realizing how wound up you've become. Gently unwind now to drop into a deeper, slower healing rhythm, and you will restore your body, mind, and soul. Things which seem too difficult right now shall soon seem very manageable and even pleasurable to accomplish. Okay, the main message I'm getting with these 2 cards is that you need to allow yourself to be helped. My head may have just been in there. Sorry if it was 34. So yeah, your spirit guides really want to come in and help you, and for you to do that, you have to surrender a bit for them to be able to come in. It's also suggested that you work with violet flame or violet light to help purify your field so you can actually hear the messages that are coming in. Okay, there's a need to rise up out of the root chakra. Okay, this isn't a need to ground. You're too grounded. You're working too hard. You need to give yourself some time to rest and allow yourself to be helped. Open up to receive. Okay. Okay, I see. This could be a relationship coming through, but there is a need to really step into more joy and to pay attention to your relationships as well. To not abandon or avoid relationships. This is primarily what's going on is you guys are focused so much on working and getting things done that you're neglecting personal relationships and your own joy. So you're being asked to take a step back, put some energy and focus back into your relationships, into your own joy, because that's how you're going to progress on the spiritual path more smoothly. Because when you're really wrapped into these frequencies of doing, grounding, and you're not expanding out of that, that's when things get a lot harder. It's like the energy feels like mud. So the energy here is really pretty though. You have a lot of the violets, a lot of the blues and whites. So working with white fire, violet flame, meditation, water. And there's a need to really lift up into these higher frequency ranges. And to do that, the way you do that is through joy, through relationship, self-love. And so you're too focused on work right now, okay? Sharing your wisdom. Okay, so this group is, I feel like you're really focused on teaching others that haven't actually lifted into these higher frequency ranges. And because there's this awareness, this awakening on the collective level. And this is actually taking away from your own life, your own joy. So if this is you, they're not saying to stop doing that, but you need to balance your energies. You need to balance relationship, balance your own time, your free time, with this sharing of information, this giving of enlightenment to others, because you're helping pull people out of their denser realities into this more expanded state, but at the cost of your own well-being. Okay, so there is a need to balance everything, and I'm going to actually pull a few more cards. I'm changing decks, sorry. So laughter came up, and joy, right? Laughter right next to joy. So over on this side, there is a need to really balance love, compassion, spend more time with animals, find yourself in a space where you can allow yourself to get into a lighter, more love-based, joyous spirit here. And over here, there's this expansion happening. So, and this is all revolves around you sharing your wisdom. But I think you yourself are also going through it. This relationship situation of neglecting it, there is a need to trust the relationship itself, and to know that things are actually turning for the better there. I also feel like you guys are highly connected to spiritual realities. So the stuff you're sharing is actually helping people to open their own third eye and step into their spiritual power more. So you have a multi-dimensional job here that you're really focused on, but you're kind of neglecting these higher realities by focusing too much on the earth plane. Let me see this, share your wisdom. Still, yeah. So your guidance is to take a step back, like I said at the very beginning. So you need to take a step back from this reality, okay, this reality, and lift into, animals could be really important to you, and I think that's why this came through, but this is also a card of instinct as well as just like survival. And so you're being asked to take a step back from everything and really focus on your own higher dimensional self. To spend more time in relationships with your friends, with your family, in this more loving, light-based reality, and to not worry about the collective quite so much, okay? And work. Yeah, there's some stuff that you need to clear. So you need to pay attention to, can you see that card? Yeah. Beneath the surface, there's some stuff you need to clear to really align with your soul truth right now. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of shifts coming in, and there's going to be a tipping point. So this is actually a collective thing that's happening for a lot of people. The details are a little bit different, but there is a kind of like a mastery. You're coming into your mastery, and this is good and important, but this clearing needs to happen first. And then when the clearing happens, you'll be able to walk this path with a lot a lot greater ease, less obstacles and blockages because you will have already cleared the path. And that's really what they want you to focus on. I want to get one more on the relationship here. Strength and good fortune. Choose harmony. Yeah, I'm really getting the feeling that you just need to spend time with your loved ones. More time doing fun things. And make that a priority, because that will also help lift your spirit so that you can see any shifts or changes that you need to clear. I also feel like there's a lot going on beneath the surface that you don't see. And so some of you guys might be kind of beating your head against a brick wall, trying to make things happen when they're already happening. So let me get one more there. The noble one. Yeah, this is a shift in the career. So let me read this because there's some details in the pages here. Just talking about basically realizing that you can speak your truth with love, and not anger, but this being recognized in the world as well. So this higher dimensional self kind of being birthed into the body, and for that to happen, these energies need to really clear. But throughout the whole reading, I just see kind of like a rebirth into this new energy, this new merging of everything within you. So being able to clear all of the blocks and distortions in the field, really connecting with your guides, and then grounding this energy. But you need to take a step back for a little bit to lighten your spirit, okay? Hope that was helpful, and sending love. Okay, this is pile 3. Yin and yang. So balance is a big theme with everyone today, so let's get into that. Sobriety. Okay. Start with these 3. So there is this back and forth. Again, this is continuing with the themes from the last 2 readings. A back and forth, divine masculine, divine feminine, a imbalance of sorts. And sobriety is here, amethyst. I'm actually going to read this card. Hold on. 3. 31. So 3s could be important as well. So there's a need to resist temptation here, to know that you are in charge of your actions, that you can choose in the moment, in the present moment, what reality you want to live in, what experience you want to have. Some of you guys may need to change some habits, and to do that, you're going to need to be present, okay? There is no need to go back and forth from shadow to light, shadow to light, shadow to light, just to see them all as parts of a whole, and reformat the way you think about things here. There's also some temptation of taking action on something too early, and you're being warned to wait because you might have some regrets there if you take action too quick. You want to make sure you're in a balanced state before you take action. Like, you don't want to take action when you're angry or triggered or feeling bad about yourself. Just wait until you come into alignment, and once you come into alignment, then you can make better decisions for yourself. Your biology and gender are creative and powerful means for you to express your soul path. Sometimes you may feel limited by gender constraints or stereotypes, but your spirit can never be restricted or controlled. Embrace the journey of what it feels like to be you in your own body. There is much benefit and healing to be gained through an embrace of your life journey, including the deeper experience of the absolute freedom of your spirit. So there's a need to, there's definitely a lot about male, female energies, masculine, feminine, and some sort of action taken around that. But what you're being asked to do is realize your eternal spirit is not confined by your body. So I feel a lot of limiting thoughts or beliefs around your body being a limited expression of your soul, but your body is actually just your soul that has been made manifest in the world, and it is the way it needs to be. So whatever is going on here with the physical reality, there is a need to really kind of project love into that space, understanding, and also I'm seeing grounding here, balancing and grounding, so that you don't take any action that isn't going to be in your highest good. Okay, so there is a decision. This is conflicting with this message above, is this leap of faith that you're considering taking. You need to take a step back and write out pros and cons. Write out why you want to take this step, what is going on with it, because you want to make sure you're preserving the work you've done in the past. And hold on, I just want to see what this says. So I feel like there's kind of this back and forth on whether or not you take this action or this step forward. And Ganesh is remover of obstacles. And so he is actually protecting you and helping to remove obstacles for this leap of faith if you choose to take it. But I think the warning here is to take a step back, to connect to your highest self first, to all that is to your spirit before taking action, to really contemplate why you want to take this, make sure it's in alignment. And this kind of reiterates that is the heart space is where your home is, okay? It's your physical body, but it's more your soul in incarnating into your body. That is your home. So if you're feeling as though you don't know really where you belong or what action to take, or just this, there's kind of this confusion. And so you're being reminded to find your home within your own heart space and to let that show you the path forward. There's information within your heart that you haven't tapped into yet, that you need to begin paving this path and this action step forward. It's outside of the mind, so it may not make logical sense. So a lot of people on this path, when they start walking it, are it's conflicting, because there's a rational path and then there's the intuitive path, and sometimes they don't align. They don't always have to. This path for you guys isn't necessarily going to make a lot of sense. And so there's a need to harmonize your energies to universal energies, harmonize your energies to the heart field, so that you can begin walking towards the future. This rare knowledge is, there's information that needs to come to you that you haven't yet tapped into, and that's why they're warning against taking action that you haven't fully comprehended or contemplated, I should say. So let me just see. This came out in the last reading. I'm going to go through that. Okay. So I feel this need to really tap into your self-worth. Okay, sorry, I ran out of space on my phone. So I don't know where I was at in this, but basically what this is talking about, confusion. So it's in big picture, we're looking at, do you take action like a masculine energy, or do you wait and receive? And these cards are talking about this awakening that really needs to happen within, and you really tapping into the depths of your soul to find the path forward, okay? And it's going to be a balanced merge path, but there's also this awakening within, there's awakening within the collective, and there's a need to know your worth and your value, so that when you begin to, because this is talking about sharing your wealth of information with the world, and so that is going to be required and requested of you in the future, but you need to really know your value and your worth. And if you're already doing this, there's a need to kind of go within and realign with these higher based energies they're outside of the mind space. So let me just look at this real fast. And so this is talking about allowing yourself to speak your truth, but without projecting anger into it. To know in your innate goodness. And to continually working on your own flaws and blocks and challenges as you move forward, but there's a need to really stay balanced. I feel like I want a little more info from, actually, I'm gonna do, every other deck had one more of these cards, so I'm gonna pull one more here just to kind of close this out, because there is this back and forth between, do you take action, do you not take action? And there is no definitive yes or no here, because there's more than one person is gonna take this reading or to watch this reading. But there's a need to kind of pull yourself together to analyze and reconnect to your heart space and your body too, to ground into your physical reality, to know your worth and your value. So just one closing card here. Too many. That was 2. I'll just read both those. Okay. 22 and 36. A way through the struggle has already been created for you, and you are being led onto that path. Your authentic soul path may include recognition and acclaim, notable success and admiration. Be grateful, but do not be dazzled or distracted by such experiences. Focus on what connects you to your heart and grounds you in the simplicity of spiritual truth, which is the practice of love, kindness, and peace. This will allow for successful progress in the material world without disturbing your sanctity of your soul. So this is shifts are coming in, but you want to stay balanced on the dark light contrast, like knowing where you belong, knowing your soul truth, understanding that, really aligning with your soul truth, and not sharing your truth, your wisdom, but without the attachments of the past. Things are evolving. There is going to be an awakening, a realization of your worth within the world too. Okay, and 36. The pathway for your spiritual fulfillment and the sacred manifestation of your purpose is not necessarily logical and will evolve organically. The skillful and unpredictable workings of the Earth Mother are supporting your soul journey unconditionally. Follow up on inspired ideas and allowing for unexpected shifts in direction are integral to the manifestation of your soul purpose. Commit to an idea that feels good to your heart, even if it seems improbable and unattainable. So that's what these are talking about, is really getting into the heart space, but knowing that the shifts and changes that are occurring may not be rational. And I don't know if it was this reading or the last one, but the higher dimensional realities work in a spiral. They're not clear-cut action step paths. You have to be able to go with the flow. To do that, you have to reconnect with your heart space to merge this duality, okay? You don't want to take actions based on fear or anger. You want to take actions based on love and resonance with the universal field. Okay, I hope that was helpful. Sending love.